Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on, man? Right, before we actually get into the episode, I just want to explain a few things about. Did that make sense? What did I just say? I just want to explain a few things about the episode. For some reason, with Jared, I feel like he's very unlucky with cameras. He's a beautiful guy, but for some reason, every time I have him on the show, I mean, just once before, his face is never like the last episode. His head wasn't in frame properly, and that was winding me up. I don't know if any of you noticed. I mean, I'll put something up now. We got him on this episode. This episode was supposed to be a solo episode. It was pretty much, I was just talking to him. I don't know, I was talking to him about what I'm doing this weekend or something. And I was talking to him about how I hated the camera angles when he was last on. Yeah, and then we were just talking, and I was just like, oh, mate, if you're free, you might as well just come and join. I normally don't have anything planned, and it will probably be nice to have a friend there talking about my issues, you know? So he came. You know, it was going well. Luciano was there as well. Focus on the camera of, like, you know, the camera that's facing me and him. So you got me, you got a table in the middle, and you got the guest. Focus and everything just messed up. If I didn't take out the footage together, it'll give you a headache. I'll put it up now so you can see what it looks like. Like, I'll just talk over it as well because it's just ridiculous. Like, look at it. If I just literally just looked for a second to see if it's recording properly or something, I don't know, man, I would have noticed, oh crap, it's not in focus, let me sort that out. But nope, you got this shit. And we was out of focus, so I'm not using that shot. So whoever's speaking first, you know, the camera will be on them. Literally, the more I think about it, the more it annoys me. Like, I'm fuming. Like, 7 p.m, I'm editing, livid. Like, the more I think about it, the more it's just, I start shaking. Just little things like that. Like, it's not a big deal. It's my show. I want it to be right. I want it to be nice. What else? But yeah, really good episode. This episode, we went into a bit more detail about my, like, sort of mental health issues. You know, how I've been going counselling, my experience with counselling. You know, what made me realise that I needed counselling. I don't know, I just kind of opened up a bit more about how I'm feeling, and I'm not sure if it'll help anyone that's listening and watching. It just feels nice letting it all out. The more I talk about it, the better I feel. I don't know, I'm just attention seeking. I'm not, or I think I'm not anyway. Unless it's like a mental thing to attention seek. Unless that is that is what I need. I don't know, man. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. But again, at least like he's in frame. Yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. You know, it's just one of those things that I want to keep doing. And yeah, it's growing now. It's growing slowly. I know it's a long watch, so watch it in your own time. I don't know, watch it before bed or something, I don't know. Peace. Hopefully, don't talk about much. But yeah, man, this was supposed to be like a solo episode. And I thought, you know what, because I was so annoyed about the last episode with you, because the camera shots were just shit. Let's do another. Well, I was just talking to you. I didn't even mention you.
Yeah, we were just chatting, weren't we? Just like, yeah, let's do it.
As I'm doing a solo podcast, I'm going to talk about that. And then you was just like, no, and then I was just like, potentially with you. Do you want to come? And then, yeah, you just come.
Like, yeah, I'm free.
But yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. So now that just made me worried. Now I'm just thinking, fuck, I should have prepared. Well, the thing is, with this episode, we're going to talk about mental health and fitness, because I feel like they're pretty, like, I don't know, they're like brothers and sisters. Like, they're quite, it's a thing.
They're definitely related,
And I don't feel like I've ever spoken to you about like mental health stuff, like even just as a friend.
I don't think we have.
Shit. I feel like we should. We should have like a monthly session where we just talk about how we feel.
Yeah, just catch up, just be like, how's everyone doing? Like,
that's mad, we actually haven't.
But do you know what as well? Like sometimes I hate those conversations. You know when you ask someone like how they're doing, and like it's just whatever word comes out quick. It's like fine, I'm good, that's a good point, like all right.
Where do I start?
Be like, no, actually, like how are you doing? Like what have you been up to? You know, like how you actually feeling.
But when do you ask that sort of question as well? Like, when do you feel like, oh, you know what, I'm not asking him how he's feeling.
Well, it's tough though to like you said, to know like when to do that, because sometimes you just kind of ask how people are doing just in passing, and you just kind of you are just looking for a like, yes, I'm good, no, like I'm not great, and then kind of it goes from there. But like, when do you ever just have like time and be like, right, 5-10 minutes, let's just chat, like, and just see like, you know, how you're getting on, kind of thing, and like actually how you're getting on, like what's been upsetting you, or you know what's been going up.
I think that's very important, and not a lot of people do that. And like I just said, me and you never even do that, which is weird. I'd normally do it with Dan for some reason, but he's a fucking emotional guy anyway. No, bless him, he's going to do the marathon. Actually, by the time this releases, You've done it,
You'd
man.
have done it.
Yeah. This
Well played,
Sunday.
Dan.
Well played, man. Congrats. Imagine if you didn't do it.
Yeah, then we have to edit that bit out.
Yeah. I don't need to talk about how you've been throughout lockdown because we spoke about it in the last episode. But yeah, how are you feeling, man? How's your headspace?
Yeah, like not too bad, you know. I think my biggest thing is like having a routine. Like I think I'm absolutely nothing without a routine, which is I think kind of we probably spoke about it in the last one, that like at the start of lockdown when everything that like you'd normally do is just like taken away, then you're just like, what the hell, like what am I gonna do, like, you know, because I think like my biggest thing is having a purpose. When I was on furlough, so the job retention scheme for anyone that's not in England, because you know you're worldwide now. So obviously I was off work and I was just like, oh, you know, like this is going to be like a calm 3 weeks, you know, I'm just going to wake up whenever I want and do whatever I want. And obviously when we was in lockdown, like there was just nothing to do. Like, you know, you normally wake up, you'd be like, right, what am I going to do today? Like even if it's like, oh, I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to go see this person.
Just go for a
like
walk,
you just couldn't do like anything.
Nothing.
So it was like, it was fine for like the first maybe a week at a push, and then after that I was like I'm losing it. Like I need something to do. Like obviously everyone else was working in the house. Did it actually
affect you at that point? Like did you feel like shit? Like I'm struggling.
Yeah, like
really?
once you like, you know, because like there's some days obviously like you enjoy those days when you do like I've got nothing planned, just like right, I'm just gonna watch TV, I'm just gonna chill, like that's fine. But when you start doing that multiple days in a row, it's like it's too much, and you just get stuck in like a hole where you're just like, well, is this me now? Like, just going to sit on the sofa, like, and not move.
It's mad now, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Like what I was just saying earlier, sometimes, like you said, you just sit on the train and think, this is nuts, everyone's wearing a mask. Do you feel like that's affected? Like, the reason why I want to do a mental health thing as well, because I've been recently going to, I think I mentioned in my few episodes, that I've recently been going counselling, and I want to talk about that a bit more as well, exactly what they do. Before I get into that, do you feel like this lockdown thing's like affected your head in the long term, or just like a sort of a short term thing?
I think it was probably, I'd like to say just short term.
Yeah.
Because I think, do you know, it made me kind of realise, even though like everyone kind of complains about working, you know, like, you know, obviously you do something that you enjoy, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes working is you know, gets a bit long. But on the whole, like just being able to wake up and be like, I've got work to do and I've got my to-do list and here's what I'm going to do. Like, it's actually like so mad how different it is when you don't have that.
Yeah.
And it just like, as I said, like having that purpose is just everything to me.
That
like,
is mad.
So when I was in, so after like a couple of days, I did have this like whiteboard, and I used to write down everything I was doing for the week. So I think you've got it as well, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't need it now.
We'll take a picture and pop it on.
Yeah.
So obviously like the days of the week, and then be like, right, so Monday I've got football, Tuesday I'm doing this, Wednesday I'm going to the gym. Like, and obviously when we went into lockdown, like we weren't leaving the house. So I was like, well, there's nothing to do, you know, there's nothing on my calendar, like in terms of me going out and stuff. So just kind of waking up and being like, oh, what have I got to look forward to this week?
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes it's just like, oh, you know, I've got a long week at work, but on Saturday I'm doing this and I can't wait for it, and it just helps you get through the week. And there's just none of that, and I was like, what the hell?
The good thing about this is like you're not the only one going through it alone. Like I know everyone's got their own problems and everyone's got their own mental issues and stuff, but with that, like even like I mean, we probably feel the same about just how it is in lockdown, just feeling like shit. What do I do? Like routine's fucked. It's good that everyone else is going through it, so you can relate with other people. People could like even people listening to this. I'm sure everyone is just like
because it's a global issue.
Imagine
like,
someone's life hasn't changed like from lockdown. Like it's still the same. Like,
no, every like the whole world has gone into some kind of lockdown.
The whole world. You know how crazy that is.
Even if it's just like you have to change things, like, you know, like just say like the pub closing at 10 p.m. That's like a small thing. Even if it's just that thing that's happened in wherever like people are across the world, that's something that's changed like your routine.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, it's actually
madness.
crazy.
But before lockdown, did you have any issues at all with like panic attacks, anxiety attacks?
Like not typically. I think again, kind of where like I had like my routine, and I was, you know, like going to the gym and playing my different sports and going out and seeing friends, and like everything was like, you know, fairly
always
cushy,
busy, like
always busy. And you know what? That's just how I like work. Like always. Like I need to be doing something. Like again, I don't mind having like a day where I'm just like sat around kind of thing. But on the whole, like I enjoy just being just around
Doing
and bit, doing something.
Mate, that's the best way. It keeps your head like just focusing on other things. You don't need to sit there worrying about shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
The only time that I've really struggled, and I think sometimes you have to be careful about kind of how you kind of self-diagnose yourself.
Yeah.
Because like I think when I was at my previous job, my kind of anxiety definitely went up, but I'm not sure if I'd class myself as having anxiety,
Right.
but I was feeling a lot more anxious from it. And do you want me to go into it?
Yeah, of course.
Talk about it, yeah. So
this is you, bro.
Talking
Spotlight's
about
on
it.
you, man. Go for it.
So joined a new job last year.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was a big role as well. And it was a huge project. Like we had to put on loads of stuff all over the summer.
I remember you being stressed about it as well.
Yeah, so it was every day of the summer. So apart from the weekends, I joined in May, and obviously then had to get it all sorted by July, end of July when it all started. That was like a bit like hectic, but it got to the end of the summer, and I was like, do you know what? I feel, even though it is like stressful and everything, I feel like I've grown kind of from it. Like I've learned like so much. They then gave me a role, promoted me to operations manager. So I was looking over our after school care that we did. Like obviously, first of all, I was like, wow, like I've gone like up so quickly. I was just like, I was like, oh, like am I like qualified for this? Like this is mad to go up that quickly. But I was like, do you know what? Like I'm happy to to go with it, and as long as I've got kind of someone there to kind of show me how to do these things, then it'll all be good. So like it started off all right, and obviously there's always, from like the previous person, there's always like a few issues that people have, so like
previous person.
Yeah, so like I spoke to like head teachers, and I spoke to like the staff as well, and just kind of get a bit of a feel for things. And you're like, okay, cool, like yeah, I'm gonna be the person to make all these changes and to turn things around. And it was just like a constant like fight just every day of there just being issues. And the thing that I really struggled with was that it wasn't obviously necessarily people coming to me and saying they got an issue with me personally, but it was to do with the service I was overseeing. And as the person at the top, I was just like, that comes back to me. I have to deal with it. So even if a head teacher calls me at 6 o'clock, like I'm at home, calls me at 6 o'clock and says, right, today was an absolute, shambles. Like this went wrong, this went wrong.
Whoa,
like even if that was
horrible,
even if that obviously wasn't anything to do with me, I wasn't there, or I didn't kind of cause the issue. It was still something that I'd like. Right, so
still coming back to you, innit?
Yeah, and I can't do anything about it now because it's it's Friday evening or whatever, or it's the evening, so I'm gonna deal with it tomorrow or on Monday morning after the weekend. Like it was just a lot. Like, and it was just, I think it would have been fine if it was like isolated things, but that like as a service, like there was just issues kind of all over the place. And it just constantly coming like back to me.
And was that your first moment that you felt like shit, I might be having an anxiety or something?
Like it was just
imagine that feeling.
Yeah, it was just kind of going up and down, and it even got to points where I didn't want to answer my phone that I had, so the office phone, because I was just like, that's going to be a head teacher calling me. Or I'd get like, we had a receptionist, so she'd be like, oh, so and so from this school wants to speak to you, and I'd be like, I don't want to take this call.
Mate, that feeling's horrible.
Yeah, and just be like, can you tell them that I'm not in, or like I just need some time just to mentally prepare myself to what I'm going to say in this conversation. Yeah, it was
mate, good for you, guy.
Have
you ever felt like that before? How you felt then? Like for you to even mention that job, it must have like affected your head. For you to think, oh mate, that was a nightmare there.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think so. Maybe. I mean, maybe at uni, but I know like everyone kind of has issues at uni because it's a bloody stressful thing, isn't it? Like
a lot of people actually start off feeling like those mental health issues from uni.
Yeah, because do you know what? With uni, it's like obviously if you move away from home, then obviously there's that. So it might be the first time that you've left home and been away from home for a while. And then you've got obviously all the things that you just have to do for living away from home. So you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're washing your clothes, all those kind of things that you don't necessarily think about when you're at home. And then obviously then you're studying, and sometimes studying is just nuts. Like there's you've got lectures here, there, and everywhere, and then you've got exams and stuff like that. And then like the biggest thing for me was money. So I got a grant which kind of you know, it obviously it helped out,
I got
but
Grant
it,
gang.
you know, Grant gang, don't know.
Poor people.
Exactly. So it was, but it didn't really, I don't know, it felt like it didn't really help much, like in terms of obviously paying rent. And yeah, it was just kind of, were you in like a place where you're like, fuck, like, do I have enough money to like to pay for this thing or to eat or to, you know, and it never got kind of like really bad where I didn't have, you know, enough money to eat.
That's a scary position.
But it was
though,
still,
isn't it?
but it was still close enough where you're just like,
What
fuck,
do I do?
like, yeah, what do I do? Like, and so then I had to start working as well, which like I was just working part-time, which worked for me like nicely.
That must have been really helpful because there's people that couldn't even, people were struggling to find jobs.
And I think it's finding, especially because obviously your lectures will change from term to term, so it's like finding a job that fits around like potentially your lectures just changing and going from, oh yeah, like, you know, normally my lectures are this time and then in 2 months time it's now a different time, so I can't work those times I would have done beforehand. And it's just
I left uni, like, I never finished it. I think second year I just left uni, but I was more focused on work. Like I was only working in retail, fucking stacking shelves, but I'd rather miss a lecture to do that because I'm getting more money than go to a lecture. But again, for me, I wanted money. Like that was my main thing. Like even just growing up, you know, my mum always pushed me, like, you know, you need to be earning now. You need to be doing this, doing that. I felt like shit. I've just always grew up with that mentality. So that's why I left uni, because I found a job that was a full-time job, and I thought, you know what, I want money now. This education, like even media, like people who's in this industry is a hard industry. I don't know how people, like my best mates, you know, Billy, he come on, he's in this industry, and it's like you got to start off really low, and that scared the fuck out of me. Like Billy smashed it, like what he's working, everything. I proper look up to him. I always ask him when I'm editing everything. I'm always asking him questions. But mate, just starting off as like a runner, working for free, like that part scared me. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. What?
Exactly.
Not even 12k. Like what?
No, do you know what? Like working your way up is like, it's tough because you're like, I've got this aspiration, like I want to be up there, but like you're telling me that I have to do stuff like for free, or I have to get paid like not even enough to like cover my rent to then get myself on the ladder, and it's like it's tough, isn't it? Because you could just be like, well, actually, like this isn't doing it for me.
If my mum found out I was working for free, she would go to the manager and just be like, "We doing?" So I was so nervous with that. So I left uni, found a sales job, and just worked. Just you let my mouth do all the work, and then I'm here. You have got gift of the gab. Yeah, I mean now I'm here where I'm doing all this. I'm got a job that involves talking to a lot of people. Like education, I kind of wish I did finish uni, but again, it got me the experience that I needed. It was getting to a point where I'm just like, I'm learning history now. Like I'm learning who made the cameras and stuff. What am I doing with
like, this isn't where I want to go. Yeah.
Got to a point where I was just like, I mean, even the people as well that I was with, I just couldn't, like, you know me, I'm a nice person. And I'm not hating on anyone, but if I just can't see myself like getting along with someone or being a friend and I'm just forcing it, it's just like, nah, this environment isn't for me. People out there were like, weekends they'll go out and film stuff, whereas for me, weekends I'll just have a drink with Lucy, you know, go to the pub and get smashed. Like,
I think having, like, especially when you was at uni, like having like friends or like meeting people that you get on with.
The thing is, your uni was good. Like you actually lived away. I didn't live away. So
it's very different. Because obviously, like so obviously I moved into Hall, so there was 6 of us, I think, in our flat.
I love that.
Luckily, like I got on with all of them, and you know, ended up living with a couple of them every year. And you know, so it was fine. But I can imagine if it's the complete opposite and you like hated everyone that's in your flat, like all of a sudden you're just like, it's quite easy just to stay in your room. You have
to like them though, because they're in the flat, right?
But it depends if they're like people that, you know, that just aren't your type of people and stuff.
Like
then
someone though, innit? Yeah,
exactly.
I remember uni, man. I used to come home and just text Lucy. We used to play Minecraft a lot on the iPads. That was sick. A lot. You made a football stadium. It was a sick one. And the thing is, on the iPads, like it wasn't updated to the latest one now. Now you could do all sorts. But back then, it was like, it was nothing. So we was playing for hours for like no reason. Good though. Makes the creativity in your head blowing. My situation then with like mental health and stuff. I don't think I've spoken to you about it. I just mentioned counselling.
No, I know that you do like go to counselling.
I never thought in my life I would actually get to a stage where I have to go counselling.
Do you know, though, you hear like so much on like social media from like people that do counselling and say that everyone should go counselling, because like everyone's got something that's like an issue. Like even if it's not something that's happened like that you're aware of, it might be when you're a child, and then you know, like there's certain things that happen like from when you're younger, or like, and like obviously you then don't think of it as, oh, I'm doing this differently. You just be like, this is how I act, but oh, I've acted this way because of this random event that happened when I was a 2-year-old. Like,
that's literally what I'm getting at now. So like, when I first went to counsel, so before I start this, I know everyone's got their own problems. You know, watch this and listen to this just with an open mind. Because I know a lot of people, they just like, not a lot, but some people, they're just like, oh, but this person's got worse, this person got it worse. You know, like, it's like, yes, but it's like, I don't know, it's like Kanye West moving to here. You know what I mean? That'll be a massive life change difference, and I'm sure that'll fuck his head up. Whereas for me, this is nice. I've got a nice bed, got a nice TV. This is nice. Yeah. You know, so see it like that. Everyone's got their own problems. Here's my problem now. Right. So the main reason I started going to counselling was like, it was getting to a point where it was kind of at a start of lockdown where I started feeling a bit more. I've always had like anxiety issues since I was a kid. Since I was like 13. And like, I don't know, I always have like little panic attacks of just like, mostly about death. And then it started increasing lately about, what was it starting about? Like I started thinking about more about my life, like where is it heading? And then about my family. I've got a little sister that I always talk about. And luckily I've got friends and stuff, so I never really worried about friends. It's always when I'm on my own. Like I talk about it now with you guys and stuff, but when I'm on my own, and sometimes I just sit there and just think, even about death, like, no matter what's going to happen, I'm going to die.
Yeah. Do you know what? That, like, the whole concept of death is actually crazy when you think about it sometimes. Crazy, like, mate. I think if we all knew what was going to happen once we died, then it'd be like, oh yeah, like, you know, I die fine, you know, I've done my time on you know, wherever, and then, you know, this then happens. But because you don't know, it's just like, what happens? Is it just goes into blackness? And like,
mate, people say it would just be like a dream. Like, nah, because your brain is still alive. Yeah. When you're dead, you're dead.
Like, exactly, like what?
I can laugh about it now, but when I'm on my own, when I have these moments, and it'll be a 10-second moment where I'm just like hyperventilating. And the thing is, I thought that was a panic attack. But it wasn't. Only recently I've had a panic attack when I called up to go counselling. So I had a little assessment on the phone, and then they started talking to me about like my childhood days. And you know, I've always spoke about how I had a rough childhood. I mean, obviously there's other people that might have had it worse, or just living with like horrible relatives. And yes, they provided me a place to live and stuff, but like my mum was an immigrant. I can say that now because she's not an immigrant, so it doesn't matter. She was an immigrant, so she had to like hide from like the immigration people, and like they knew where I was staying, so they were always having an eye on this. So my mum couldn't even visit me sometimes. She'll be staying at some flats, or like I don't know where she'll be staying sometimes. And so I thought, all right, what's ever happened in the past has happened. Like,
done.
I'm fine.
But like it's always the thing, like you're like stronger because of it. And like, like, you know, like I've done that, but look at my life now.
And that's why I'm just thinking, like, I thought, you know what, it's nothing to do with my past. They started questioning things like, oh, how are you feeling? So I mentioned that I have struggle sleeping. I mentioned that I worry about things a lot. And then they started talking about, oh, so when did you realise you struggle sleeping? I was like, I feel like I struggle sleeping the rest of my life. But I never thought about that before. I don't know what I thought, but I thought it was like a recent thing for some reason. But it's not. It's always been a thing for me. And then they started talking about, oh, so, you know, let's say when you was 5, you know, how was your sleep then, would you say? And then like I started thinking, I was like, it's quite bad because like I used to sleep, like I used to be on the bed and my mum used to be like pretty much next to me on the floor. At the relative's house, but like obviously a block bed, I think it was. And but then obviously there'll be days where she's not around, so I'll be awake the whole night. And for a kid to be awake the whole night, like Asians as well, like we don't have we don't have a bedtime. Like normal people, you know, kids go to sleep at 7 or 8. Like my little sister goes to bed at 10, 11 sometimes. It's fucking ridiculous. It annoys the fuck out of me, honestly. Like my mum, she's watching this, like, you got to sort that out. Like, anyway, so back then when I used to stay with the relatives, my bedtime was like 12 every day until I left that house. Like from year 1 to year 6, it's been like 12 o'clock. Like, I'd always been up playing with my cousin. Like, I don't know, I don't want to say the word slave, but I used to be the kid that they used to say, "Oh, Alvi, get me a glass of water." I mean, for me to say, like, this was mentioned in the counselling, that's why I'm saying it. She goes, for you to say that you was treated like a slave, like, even, it wasn't, I know you're over exaggerating, not slave, but you must have felt like that as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Just mind blown. Like.
It all comes down from when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And like the fact that how much it's been affecting me, like my sleep and stuff, even now, like I've got a weird pattern of sleeping with earplugs in and some cloth over my eye, only to block out the sound. Oh wow, the missus is here. Yes. I don't know. I'll continue the conversation after I say hi. You doing? You alright? What's the time? I didn't know you was coming. That's right. We're gonna go Wagamama's after this, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah. Just crave it.
Are you right?
How's Jess? You alright? Yeah. You look nice. I didn't know what you was wearing. Are you gonna come and sit with us, or are you gonna come and sit with us?
No,
There's olives.
Okay. there's like 4 left. There's olives.
Have you had one yet? I still have had them.
I don't like olives.
You know, oh.
I only opened up for you. Well, for him, but then
What if I didn't like olives?
it would just be there.
Uncle.
Yeah, so I call him uncle. He's my great aunt's son, but Asians we call anyone relative uncle or
auntie. Yeah. Innit?
And yeah, he's like, I'm not blaming him, but he's played loud music and stuff. And I mean, it's his house, and I used to just sleep with earplugs in, and yeah, it's just been a thing, and I never realised it was a thing since I was a kid. And it wasn't even just earplugs back then. Back then, I used to put tissues in.
Yeah.
It was so annoying. So that was just one of the things, and we spoke like I have 1 hour sessions per week, and we spoke about just the sleep bit for an hour, and I can't believe how much, like even if I question about your childhood, I bet we could bring something up that makes you who you are now because of something that's happened then. Like that just blew my mind.
Absolutely mad.
And you just need that someone to question it.
Yeah.
That's all it takes for you to open that world.
Yeah, and to think that it's like it could be such a small thing as well. Like it's not something that you'd be like conscious of and be like, oh, I remember this time when this happened.
Yeah.
You just be like again, as you said, like someone could just ask you, you're not sleeping well, like talk to me about it, and then bang, just something comes up, and you're like, wow, that one moment, like that's how.
So when I had that assessment, after that assessment, I started like hyperventilating, and I don't know why. Like it would be randomly. Like I was actually work, so I had the assessment during work, like lunch break. So I had that, and I started hyperventilating. Like literally after the call, I put the phone down. It was like a 10-second half of it, like not breathing heavily. I just can't take. I just feel like I'm not having enough oxygen in me, and I started like just getting up, moving around. I like drink water, like I'll be fine. Like what? I don't know what that was. And I kept getting it after like every hour. I kept hyperventilating, and it'll be little like I'll get vivid images of like, just like my mum, like passing me a glass of water when I was a kid. Like little things like that would just come up in my head really clearly.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm just like, what is happening? Like I'll be sitting there by myself, like she'll still be at work, and I'm like watching the TV. This would be after work, like I don't know. I think I'll stop working at 5 because it just really messed my head up. Yeah. And I'll be watching the TV, and on the TV I could just see my mum just hand me a glass of water. It'd be the littlest thing, like, "Oh, are you okay?" But she asked me that when I was a kid. Yeah. And it would be the weirdest feeling, like I'm there. It was, oh mate, I don't know if anyone could relate to this. And then I told this to my counsellor, and she was like, "You was having a panic attack. Then that is, you couldn't catch your breath, and sometimes you might even faint." Yeah. And she said, even if you faint, that's fine because your body knows exactly what to do. So don't worry. If you feel like you're going to faint, just close your eyes. Don't fight it. Just close your eyes and your body will wake you up and you'll be fine. Yeah. But what I was doing, she said I was fine, just breathe in, just making sure you're aware of your surroundings. So just look around. And yeah, since then, like it's happened a couple times, but I feel like I've got it. Yeah, I've solved it.
Have you got like? So what do you do, kind of like to cope with it then?
So, when it's happening. Yeah. So when it's happening, like, I can actually like feel it. Like I could talk about it now, and I know exactly what I'm doing. It's weird because before I'll forget. It'll be like a blurry vision.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now I have control of it. I could remember exactly what I do. So what I do, so that I'll be sitting there watching TV. It could be anything. I could be watching like, mostly when it happens when I'm watching a film about space or like anything medical.
Yeah,
Something comes up, I'm just like, fuck. And I know it's coming. I could feel it coming, and like I just feel my heart like I'm taking deep breaths for no reason.
yeah.
And then I start getting those weird visions, like just little things like me driving 5 years ago, very clearly.
Yeah.
I just kind of stand up, go to the toilet or even to the kitchen, just get a glass of water or toilet, wash my face, sit down. If it's still there, then just like I kind of just sit back and just take deep breaths, and just like look around, just like just look at. I was like, I've got a pull-up bar there, so I just look at that pull-up bar, and I just look at the posters and fucking just shit around me. Just like I look at it and I call its name, like pull-up bar,
Yeah.
bottle of water, just. Like for your mind, as she said, like it just helps your mind to just know where you are, that you're in a safe place.
Yeah.
All that's doing is when you're getting those visions, your body gets into this mode where it doesn't know where you are. Like so, you need to kind of force it to like say, all right, you know where you are. You know you're in a safe environment.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if I was having that and I wasn't in a safe environment,
Yeah.
fuck no.
I was gonna say, have you had one like out in like public?
No,
like, a proper one?
no, I've had it before. Like when I was having those like every hour thing, I was driving
Yeah.
to my mum, and she told me to pick up some milk from the shop, and I got to the shop and I parked up and I was like, I'm getting it.
Oh,
So I was just like, at the time I didn't know what to do, so I was
Yeah.
just luckily I just knew I'd just sit there till it's actually over.
Yeah.
So I'm just like in the car, but like, mate, it is when I first had it and didn't know what to do, it was a horrible feeling. But yeah, luckily, I was alright. I was in a safe place. I was in my car. I was able to control myself.
Yeah,
I even got out of the car after I parked up and just just took deep breaths and just know my surroundings and just
Yeah.
But it was hard, man. But yeah, imagine if I'm like about to die, like I don't know, there's like a robbery going on, and I'm like getting a panic attack, like mate,
Right.
not
Slow
now.
down. I need to sit down.
Like, all right, robbery. All right. But yeah, that's probably the best advice that was given to me, just to just look at things and just call it like fucking camera. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Jared.
Right.
Where you just like say it, your head just knows you're safe, you're in a comfortable place,
Yeah.
relax. And yeah, I'm fine now. But I do get it sometimes, and I just don't know what. I'm still trying to figure out what triggers it, and that's why I'm still going counselling.
Yeah.
They recommended drugs, and I was, mate, it just didn't do it for me. Not weed. They gave me the other drugs, and I was just like, mate,
We can't.
I had it before, and it just it just makes me sleepy.
Yeah.
But they say stay on it for a while. It does, like, your body gets used to it, and it does help. But yeah, I didn't want that. I just wanted to like be able to fight how I was feeling, and just like be able to control it, not fight it, and just accept it in a way. But it's still a journey. I'm still going counselling. So the latest thing was what's the latest thing? The latest thing I had was just talking about the panic attacks, about death. But we are going to go back to my childhood as well, and just dig a bit deeper.
Yeah.
But NHS is awful, man. I should say that now before. Mate, they're all like with the whole mental health thing. Sorry, not with everything else.
Big up NHS,
mate. Like they could do so much better. I feel like when I was going through it, without sounding like there's people out there that needed more help. Like the wait was ridiculous for me to even get the counselling session. I mean, I know it's free. I could have paid and got more, but I worry about the people that are actually going through it like, worse than I was. And they're just not getting the right support.
Yeah, like you kind of hear about like waiting lists that are just like ages,
ridiculous,
and like especially like obviously kind of you said that you've been able to kind of control yours. Obviously, it's helped having the counselling, but there's some people that are like their mental health is like at the kind of the last end where they're really really struggling and like they need the help.
People
like,
without
ASAP.
friends as well. Like, I'm so thankful for life. Like how I've got friends like you, Lucy, even like a girlfriend. Like there's people out there just alone.
Yeah.
And, like for me, like when I first like went on the assessment, I was like, so how long do I have to wait until I have a proper counselling session? And she goes, it could be anything from a month to 6 months. I mean, it took me 4 months. I could have been cured. I don't know, cured, but like that was ridiculous. I was just like, I could have been having constant panic attacks and not know what to do.
Yeah. Especially if it's like some people that might be severe. That could be like every day. That could be a couple times a day. Like luckily for you, like it wasn't that regular.
Mate.
But imagine if you had to then deal with that for
every
that
day
amount of time.
and like just waiting lists. Like unless you have money to go like private and stuff, like they need to really work on mental. I mean, obviously COVID's going on, so that's not helping. So I get why 6 months, but even though she said it's like normally still 6 months on a normal day.
You know, it probably comes down to funding, really, doesn't it?
It is, yeah.
They don't have enough enough funds in there, so there's not enough people.
There's so many other like medical issues to like pay for and stuff, but mental health I could only relate. I mean, if people that haven't had these anxiety attacks like how I've had it, I feel like I don't know if they understand it. I mean, hopefully the way I described it, they can get some sort of feeling. For that to happen every day to someone. They need to put some fundings with that, man. They need to sort it out, because that way, I kind of get why there's so many suicide and things, because that was one of the main reasons that made me think. Like, I never thought about killing myself, like if I can go and get a knife and kill myself, but I did think, all right, what if things are easier if I wasn't alive? There's a thing for that, is a suicide something. I can't remember the word, but I mean, I would never go out and just like harm myself. But just I had that thought, and that's what freaked me out. I was like, all right, I got to see someone for this.
I wonder if that's obviously, I don't necessarily kind of know like huge amounts about why people commit suicide, but I bet that's probably quite high up the list of
so.
Like, it's not necessarily like, I want to cause harm to myself. It's actually everything that's going around is too much. Like there's too much going on. Like, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Things are falling apart, and I think, and I think like there's probably kind of a lot going on with COVID at the moment, especially I think we spoke last time about people that we always talk about like jobs, and we're saying about how there's people that have been earning like big money and been financially very secure and everything, and all of a sudden they've lost their job. And then, if you lose your job, then what? Like, you can't pay rent, so, you might have to move back in with family. If you don't have family, then, like, where are you going to move? Then you're thinking about potentially you're having to be homeless, having to, like, claim benefits, not being able to feed yourself. Like, all of that stuff is just, like, that's how you end up getting to a point where you're just, like, actually, there's so much going on at the moment.
That's the thing.
There's the easy way out is just for me to finish it.
Just quit. Mate, imagine being in that position. Like, I'm just, like I said, I'm just so thankful for everything. I don't know, those who are watching and goes through these little panic attacks or whatever they are, I would definitely suggest to just speak to someone, even friends, family first, and then seek counselling or whatever. And it's just the little questions that make you think, that's probably why. Or just like, I never thought of that. Little things like that just it gives you that comfort, like, all right, you're not weird. Like, you're not recently feeling this, there's just been a thing, and you just need to, what's the right word? You just need to know, basically, what has caused this. And when you know, it gives you that slight little feeling of comfort. And just because you know why you're feeling it, it's worse when you just don't know why you're feeling all this stuff. So I do recommend it, but they need to sort the waiting thing out. Like, I don't know how, but the funding, like you said, it's just, it needs to increase. This episode is also about fitness, and I know you're a massive fitness guy, especially since leaving sixth form as well, because you was a bit chub back then.
I was a little bit chub. Put a little bit of relationship weight. Do you know what? I don't remember like putting on that weight. Like,
when you look back, it's just
I feel like when I look back, I'm just like, fuck. Like, and do you know what? I think, like, I did definitely obviously put on like weight, but especially to my face. All of my weight goes to my face, so it makes it look so much worse. Like, just like my face looks like it's blown out. No beard as well, just a little like goatee bit. So like.
Did it probably, like, was it a thing back then? Like, back then, did you think you was quite? Because you weren't. No, like, I'm making it sound like you was huge. You wasn't. That bad
no, not big at all. Like, I don't know, because I didn't.
Did you
I
feel
just
any
didn't.
Self-conscious or anything?
No, I just really didn't notice it at all. I think it's because it was just so kind of gradual.
I don't even think I noticed it back then.
I don't think many people did. It's only looking back. Everyone's like, oh fuck, like Jared looked like quite chubs like back then. You can put like a little photo like there, like next to it, and be like
what
little comparison.
What is that? What photo is it?
I'll find some bad ones.
Yeah,
like I got some bad ones. But to be honest, it was. I think it's because I think obviously when we finished sixth form, when did we finish? Like May time? Like
Yeah,
it was
finished
early. So
Mm.
and then obviously we didn't start uni until like at least mid-September, end of September. And I just got lazy. Like I did nothing over the summer.
Yeah.
Like I think we went to Thorpe Park, absolutely sick. And then I think I spent the rest of my time like playing PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like didn't get a job or anything. So I was just kind of just chilling. And just put on weight.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because we went Thorpe Park.
Yeah.
I still, again, I wouldn't call you fat and stuff.
No.
Like, I wouldn't realise until you showed me those pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always wondered if it actually like affected you, because even I was a bit chubby back then, but I feel like I got fat moving here. When I first moved here, I just kept getting takeaway. I feel like we all did. Like we all kept getting takeaways when we first moved out from home. We just went in, man.
Yeah.
But I got really comfortable, and then I was just like, it started affecting me. Like I'll show you a picture. I'll put it here. When I was fat, when I moved here, I started getting like IBS issues. I started getting horrible stomach issues as well. And then like a couple of mates like recommended me keto. Lucia recommended me keto. I tried vegan and stuff. It just didn't work for me. And it's just the IBS. Like it just wasn't agreeing with me. Like it's again not for everyone. And once I got on keto, my body changed. I started, and recently now I've realised I'm probably like a gym addict now. Only recently. I don't know. I know I'm jumping ahead from talking about keto, but I always talk about keto, so I don't talk about that. But recently now, I've been like going gym so much. Like, when lockdown started, I started like working out at home and stuff, and then I got a bit lazy. And I just stopped working out at home, and then only like the past, I'll say 2 months, or when did the gyms open up?
Like July time?
Yeah, around there. When the gyms open up, I've started going there, and then I've started proper working hard there. Like, I don't know what it is. I just feel like, I was telling Lucy, I'm not going there for the fitness anymore. Like, I'm literally just going there just for the tight feeling. Yeah. Like, just the feeling of just feeling like...
Like you've worked out and you've worked hard and
It's a weird addiction. Like, again, I wanted to talk about other things just before that, how it started to get to there. Because... when I did lose the weight, I was going to gym. I was just more doing cardio. I didn't really have a structure, and it wasn't like really a conscious thing. But now I'm just like doing it just for the feeling, and like I fucking injured my shoulder as well. Yeah. And now it's making me worry. Like, have I got an issue now? Like, what if lockdown starts and they close the gym again?
Yeah. Then what am
I going to do? Like, that's actually scaring me now. And I've never been like that with gym. I've never been like addicted. Like, I need to go to gym. I need to go to gym. Yeah. It's only the last couple of months. I'm just like, I haven't been for the last 2 days because of my shoulder, and it's bothering me. Like, I'm going to go tomorrow. I don't care. I'm going to go tomorrow, which is bad, but I'm going to try to work light. But yeah, it's just the tight feeling. And I'm thinking, why am I feeling like this? Now I want to talk to the counselor.
Like, I go to the gym, like I try to do 3 times a week, and then I do my team gym session as well. So I go 4 times a week. But what
you do is crazy.
Oh, some of it's nuts.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't do that as much as you do.
But I don't do that by myself though, because some of that stuff is like, I think.
Have you got a video, by the way?
Yeah. I've got. Remember, I sent you that video.
Yeah, send it to me.
When I was wearing blood flow as well. You'll see it there.
He's wearing blood flow. I'm wearing blood flow. Oh shit! No, sorry, I'm running out of stock, by the way.
But you can get a mask.
Oh, yeah, I've got a bare mask. No one wants to buy these masks. You know, they're great. Can you wear it? That's yours, by the way.
Alright.
Look at it. It looks great. So I know I interrupted you. We'll get back to the conversation. But look at this. This is a good mask. And it's like, in the winter as well, it'll keep your whole face warm. You know what I mean?
True. It does.
Well, yeah, that's yours, by the way.
Thank you, mate.
Sorry, I rudely interrupted you there.
Yeah, so like, actually, like, I think I'm in like a similar place with you, like with the gym. Like, do you know what? I don't know. I enjoy going to the gym, but I think what I enjoy most about it is like the bits afterwards. So like being like, yes, I've gone to the gym, like I've done something good and positive, and like my body's gonna look better because of it. Like, I don't actually enjoy that much like going to the gym. Like, it's a bit long, and you know, obviously you're working hard, and you know, you have to push yourself if you're gonna get like anywhere, and you're sweating, and you know, your heart rate's going up and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't enjoy it that much. It's all the stuff afterwards, and be like, oh yeah, like I can now do something better because I've done that stuff at the gym, or
picking this
I
up
look
and you
better.
Just feel like a tight feeling.
Exactly,
there,
just like this is easy money because I've gone to the gym. But I don't think I actually enjoy going to the gym that much. It's the stuff from going to the gym that I enjoy.
Funny you say that. I just you're right, because I go every morning before work. When I say every morning, it's every day, and it's bad, man. I need a rest day. But when I wake up to go gym, like I'm literally telling myself, I fucking hate this. But I hate it.
Yeah.
If I get this tight feeling every day, I get why people get on steroids and just. I mean, I would never go there.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, like I hate it with a passion. Like, I hate working out. Like when I'm there, I'm just doing it, and I wouldn't say I enjoy it. I really wouldn't say I enjoy it.
You just get on with it, though,
You just
don't
get
you?
on with it. It's like life. Like you have to go to school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you hate it. It's like that. I'm waking up, brushing my teeth, and I'm thinking I could be laying in bed right now.
Yeah.
But I want to go to the gym when it's empty, just so the fucking.
Oh, mate, I absolutely cannot stand going to the gym and being like, right, here's like I've got a bit better recently where like I've literally got like a plan of what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And like I've got like the weights that I currently lift and like what I want to lift as well. So I've got like a bit of structure. Like before I was just kind of like do whatever.
Yeah.
But I hate having that plan and being like, right, well, I'm sticking to this. Like, that's the whole point. I've done it. And you go in there and someone's using, like, sorry, it's packed. You're just like, especially now as well, because, like, so I don't know about your gym, but we've got, like, markings on the floor. So, like the benches have to stay there. And obviously, you're mindful that you're kind of too close to other people. And I go to, like, the gym that I go to is, like, a budget gym as well. So, it's absolutely rammed, like, usually. Like, and it's just, like, I don't know. It's the worst feeling, like going there and being like, right, I'm going to do this exercise, or this is what I'm going to finish off with, and someone else is like using the machine, and you're like,
that's why I go in the mornings.
This is awkward. Yeah.
Like, I'm so jealous of Lucia. Like, he goes at lunchtime, and he loves it.
Half the people that there are after work.
Yeah, after work. When lunchtime is just empty for you, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can see on the app now how many people.
Oh yeah, you got
sick. Like 40. After work there's like 90.
Mate.
Yeah, we've got that on our one, but it doesn't show the amount of people. It's got like a bar chart, and it just shows across the day. Yeah. So it's got like 6 to 8, and it's like how busy it is, and like from 8 to 10, etc., and all the way across. But you know what? That's helped me because I hate going when there's too many people. So I'm just like, right, I have to go at this point, like in between this 2-hour slot, because there's going to be no one there, and that's what works for me.
I get well jealous of Lucia. He just sleeps an extra hour or two, and I'm just like. Mate, I'm waking up, going gym and everything. Like, he's still sleeping. That's mad. You know, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm paying like 65 quid a month. Like, I'm sure there's an app, and I don't think there is. They need to sort it out.
It'll be hard to tell because you just have. They could be going to the swimming pool, the sauna.
Oh yeah, that's
true.
why they probably don't.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's probably why they don't have a app like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's just so much that you can do.
Yeah,
and obviously you just scan in at the
You could
front,
even go to the calf like we just
had.
Like,
it's true.
You know what I mean?
Do you know what, like, so what goes through my head is that, like, first of all, I'm just like, right, do I go up to them and ask them how many, like, more sets they've got?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really want to talk to anyone, so that'll be last resort. And then, like, second thing is, like, how long, like, have I noticed them beforehand? And, like, have I seen how long they've been on it?
Yeah.
Oh, they've got, like, 2 minutes left. Yeah, fine. And then, like, next is, like, is there something else that I can do? And especially it's the worst. If you're finishing on that, you're like, well, like, I'm tired. Like, I'm only going to stay for another 5 minutes. I don't really want to do something else and then use the thing that I want to do.
Isn't it? That extra bit of workout that you could have done, you didn't do it.
Mate, and then usually I just end up going home.
Yeah,
like, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, this is just long.
I get that.
When we was talking about earlier having face masks on and mean that we don't have to talk to people on public transport, like, if I can avoid talking to people happily,
especially public transport, man, like, I hate that.
I don't want to talk to anyone. Like, do you know what? I actually actively avoid people sometimes. I will see people that I know, and I'd be like, I don't fancy chatting today, so I'm just gonna like avoid you.
It's the morning ones, like
morning.
Even after work, man. Like I know. Sometimes people probably watching this and they're like, what do you mean, man? We go, Sunil was the one. I used to get the train with Sunil all the time after work. And like, you'd make the effort to see me. But, mate, sometimes after work, man, I just don't want to talk, you know?
Yeah,
like,
you just want to chill. Like, you just want to listen to Alvi's podcast or watch like something on Netflix. Like, you just don't want to like talk. Like,
and it's worse when you don't want to see someone and then that someone's like, all right, I'm in the middle carriage. And then they're like, I'm like, all right, there's six carriages. What's the middle? Are you on the fifth or the fourth? No, was it?
Third or fourth.
Third or the fourth, yeah. I was looking at my finger. And he's like, the middle one. There's always a middle one. And I'm like, I know I'm baiting you. I'll cut out the name. All right? I'll be nice. I'll cut out the name. Because you're smart. But, mate, that was bothering me. Like, I was already in the mood. I had a stressful day. And you're giving me that shit. You're like, meet me in the middle. And you start laughing at me. He laughed at me. He's like, haha, you don't know it's a middle. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, mate, that guy.
But yeah, sometimes like when I go to the gym, like I'll sometimes pick a bench that I can see like someone put too much spray on, and like it's still
That
like a bit
annoys
wet.
me.
But then I'm just like, I know that you've cleaned it and that's cleaned thoroughly. Like,
Yeah.
so
But that still sometimes annoys me because now I have to make the effort to go and get like just a paper towel
Yeah,
and just
true.
wipe it down and like dry it up.
yeah, and obviously I sent you earlier about how my gym we have to wear face coverings like
Oh yeah,
around the gym.
yeah. I wonder if that's going to be
which
my
is-
gym as well. Did you get that email as well?
Straight after he sent it, I got an email.
Is it?
Oh, there we go. So it's happening everywhere. Do you know what
Yeah.
they said that it was like government guidance, so I assume that most gyms will have to do it.
Really?
Well,
Which-
mine said it's encouraged that you wear a mask.
Yeah.
Oh.
So who knows how many people are going to do it? But it just says not that you don't have to wear it while
No,
you're working out.
My
You're not
gym
doing
is
anything.
cool. Nuffield Health. They're just like introducing the test and trace QR code.
Oh, so you have to
That's
scan,
the last
yeah,
email I got.
scan
Yeah.
that in.
Have you
Yeah.
got that in your gym? You have to scan.
Yeah, I think we do. But do you know what?
You guys
Like,
got everything. My gym.
but it's like, why do we need that when, especially when you like with gyms nowadays, like you've either got like a code or you've got like a card or something to scan you in.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
so ours has got like a keypad and you've got your own number. Like surely you can just use that. I don't know.
That's a good point, actually.
Like, and especially because it's got the timings that you're
Time
going in
when
and
you-
out. It's
yeah.
like, right, so I have to. So they've got a QR scanner on the app, so you don't have to. So you scan that to get in through the doors, and it's the ones with the like glass doors
Oh,
that,
them ones.
that
Yeah,
open
that's
up.
like.
Yeah.
Do you go Pure Gym? Where do you go?
No, the gym.
Some tooting thing.
They're all over, shut up.
The
Just
gym.
some two- no, they're called the gym.
Mad.
Or I think their full title. Is
Mate,
the
when
Gym
they
Group.
copyrighted that, I bet they were gassed.
Yeah,
They're
they're
like,
just
what?
like-
No one's got this.
The gym, like, why would you not call it the gym?
I'm going
Like-
to the gym. Like, oh, man. Rating.
But whenever someone asks, you have to say the gym. Like, otherwise, people are just like, "What? You
What-
go to the gym?
yeah, well, what gym?
yeah, but what
Oh,
gym?"
I should have said that. That would have been
Oh,
a good
you
bit of
should've.
comedy sketch.
Should we do it again?
Do it again.
Right.
Go on, ask me what. Go on, yeah, cut.
Alright. No, what gym do you go?
I go to the gym.
What gym?
The,
No,
the-
man, I would have edited it. Oh, it's just not hard. It's got to be natural. I'll keep it in there. I'll keep it in.
It's not quite the same, but yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, but then they've got a QR code once you go in as well, and I'm like,
Oh, so you
so
already
I've got-
scanned?
yeah, so I've already scanned
Like,
to
done your thing,
get into
and
the
then-
yeah, and then I'm just like, no, like, can't
Yeah,
be
that's a
fucked.
bit long.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, probably I should, but
Mate,
yeah.
was it? Are you in the group chat where I was talking about why are people moaning about this test and trace
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, because like people were getting a bit funny about like what was it like their data being used in
In
some
what?
sort of way.
Like, the thing is, if you're not doing anything dodgy with your phone, unless you're a drug dealer, fair enough. Like, I get why you'd complain.
Shut
But
up.
I'm getting like grannies complain. Like, I'm seeing.
Like I don't know, it's needed though, isn't it? Because
It is,
it's
yeah.
like it's gonna be the quickest way to tell people if they've been in close contact with
someone.
people.
Like,
or
what
to,
do you
like, order
want
a
the
test
government to
and
do
stuff.
then? You come up with a better idea,
Yeah,
and then fair enough. Because
Send it
even
in.
some of the people that I follow and stuff, like I've got on Instagram, they put like pictures up of just like delete
Yeah.
that app. You know, it's going to get your data. It's like, mate, as long as you're not doing anything dodgy on your phone, what data are they going to take? Like, government's already stealing money from us anyway. Like, what's new? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, if you've got any dodgy history on your phone, like, we're all humans.
That's your problem.
Yeah, as long as you're not going out there doing the dodgy thing, you could watch whatever on your phone. You know what I mean?
Not anything,
Not anything.
because police will come and get you.
What is the actual reason? Like, what people actually annoyed? Is it just that? Like,
Yeah, like, I don't actually know because I know you have to. So I think you have to have like your location services thing on.
yeah.
Because obviously it works with Bluetooth. So
So
I think it's
government
meant
knowing
to
where you
work
are.
with if you're in close contact with someone else for longer than 15 minutes,
Mm.
then you'll get like a notification saying
Mate,
this person's tested
Brilliant.
positive.
That's so good.
Like
I'll keep my infrared on if that was like. You know what I
infrared.
mean, I'll do anything.
Mate, infrared.
Infrared.
I
You have
remember
to be touching them.
back in school, right? I remember everyone had Bluetooth on their phones, right? And I had my brick Nokia, and it only
you had
had
infrared.
only had infrared.
Mate, lucky you had infrared.
I know, right? So I remember that's how obviously everyone used to share songs.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't even
Got
remember
touch
how
it, like,
people
got
had
touch.
songs, but yeah. So you had to put the tips together of the
Yeah.
phone, and then some like obviously there was always some dickhead in school that while it was doing its thing, someone
Yeah.
would knock it, and even that would like stop it. So you had to move it back in and then start
Have
the process
they taken
again.
off the infrared from phones then? Like,
They must have done like
Innit?
Bluetooth is
but
like
if they
so much
haven't,
quicker,
then
isn't
they
it?
should ban that because that's like, you know what I mean. You got to be at distance. You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, unless
Yeah,
you could only do infrared with people you're living with.
Yeah. households.
Imagine if that's
Mate,
getting used now, though.
It's
That would
so
be
mad.
nuts.
It's so mad.
The main reason for this podcast is about mental health and fitness. So going back to just fitness with the mental health things, you know when you're going through that issue with like your work and stuff. For me, sometimes when I'm really stressed, back in the day, like now I feel like I wouldn't do that, but I feel like even a couple of years ago when I still used to go gym like three times a week.
Yeah.
If there'll be days where I'm just stressed, I just don't go.
Yeah.
Did you go gym?
Like, yes and no. Like, there was definitely sometimes where like work would start impacting on my like personal life. So
That's
I'd be
the
like,
worst.
right. Usually I'm quite good. Like once it's got to whatever time I need to finish, bang, like done. Close it all down. Like there's nothing I can do until tomorrow. So kind of leave it all at the office. But then obviously there was like sometimes where it was kind of creeping into things. So like I was staying a bit later to then do that. And then obviously when we had to travel, to and from work, then I'd get home and I'd be like, right, let me eat, like, because obviously I'm hungry, and I'm like, oh, like, now I then have to go to the gym and it's late, like, I would rather not, like, and just kind of leave it. Like, the best thing that worked for me, and, like, kind of usually what works, is if I've got something kind of that I can't miss, so, like, when I've got, like, training's there, and, it's more effort to be like, oh, I'm not going to come training and message people and blah, blah, whereas the gym's just kind of your personal choice, isn't it? You're just like, yeah, I'm going to go this day and this time.
Like the mentality that I had, when I'm waking up every morning just thinking, fuck, I really can't be asked to go. It's a similar thing, like, when you're just stressed. If you actually go, you do feel much better. Like, I've realised that. The amount of times 100%. I've been stressed and went to the gym just because I pushed myself, man, I feel 10 times better just coming out of it. Like, just lifting weights. I mean, like, it releases something and it just feels good. Like, it feels great. So I highly recommend anyone, like, even if you don't have a gym membership, just go for
even like a walk or
just something active for at least, I'll say 30 minutes every day. Like, if there's a day that you've been to the gym and you want to have a rest day, at least 30 minutes of some sort of like making your blood flow. You know what I mean?
Done though. I think like American football was like good for me because it was just a time I just like I had to focus on that, and like work was just I wasn't thinking about anything.
It's good that you had that. Imagine if you didn't have that, then you probably would have stayed home.
Like, it would have been like so much worse. Like I would have just stayed at home, and then especially when you're just like sat at home, then all you're doing is thinking about like what the issue is, and obviously kind of it does get to a point where you have to address that issue. So I had to leave that job because it was too much, and it wasn't kind of enough just being like, right, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to do all these other things to help me cope, but actually it's not dealing with the issue. I'm still going to have this issue.
Mate, I've had my last company, I was going through some weird stuff, and I'll rely on squash. Yeah. As like, if there'll be times where I don't go gym, and then you play squash with us, like we sweat, like you get dripping, boy.
Dripping, you get flowing.
You get the blood flowing.
Oh, do you know what, actually? One thing that I wanted to say about when we were talking about like the childhood experiences. Oh, yeah. So I went, mate, right, you would have absolutely loved this as well after doing kind of like your counselling. So I went on a training course, must have been about a year ago now, and it was all about brain development in children. And it kind of spoke about how to kind of what things to look for and how to kind of help children in their early development. So let's talk about like your brain development and how like a lot of that happens like in your like younger years. So I think I can't remember the exact age, but it's up until like you're 8 or so that kind of most of your brain development happens. And it was saying about how kind of, I can't remember the term they use, but how certain things which aren't necessarily your fault can then affect your brain development, and obviously that can lead to things like mental illnesses, and even things like while your mum is pregnant with you, like even things like that, like stress to her could then have an effect on you. And we did this game which is absolutely amazing. So we had these like pipe cleaners, and we had to. So basically, it was just like a bit of chance. So basically, we had to like roll a dice, and then depend on what we kind of landed on, depended on kind of what experience we had. So it was either like a good one, like one which might be good, might be bad, and like a bad experience. so obviously if you had like a good experience, then we had straws as well. So if you had a good experience and you put the straw around the pipe cleaner, so obviously it's stronger.
Right.
Basically,
Oh,
you
yeah.
had to build this tower.
I was a bit confused then, but now, yeah, I get it.
Now it's starting to make sense. So obviously if you then so if you got a good experience, then you had this pipe cleaner with a straw, so it's nice and strong.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't, then you just had a pipe cleaner, which is obviously they're quite flimsy, and you had to just build this structure. So obviously you just kept doing it, and then obviously there was some things that were like in the middle. So obviously you've got your good experiences, so you're like a loving home, and you've got both parents there, and they might have taken off time off work to be able to be with the child while they're a few weeks old, and just kind of like things like that. And then there was like bad things like mum was smoking during pregnancy, or there was there was a distressful like birth process, or there was like harm or abuse there was like all those kind of things. And then there were things in the middle, which the only like really good one that I can think of now, it was a bit like these could be good or bad depending on the situation. So for example, like one big thing that we spoke about was when pets die. And obviously like pets dying is just like a normal thing that happens to most people. Like obviously most people have pets, but it's how that situation's dealt with. Because obviously like grieving is obviously something that everyone just has to do. Like everyone's going to know someone or something that's going to die like while you're alive. Everyone's going to experience that. But it's the process of grieving, and it's how that's then dealt with. So it said, so this was one that was like, say, in the middle. So if you didn't have that nurturing family, and like especially like if that pet died, and you didn't have a chance to let all your feelings out and to grieve properly, then that turned into a negative experience. Whereas if you had like a loving family, and you might have done like a little funeral kind of thing for that pet, and you were able to to talk about like how you're feeling because that pet's now died, then that turned into a good experience. And it was just crazy. Like some of those things, like just those little things that like when you've got everything kind of, you've got that support structure that that we were like talking about earlier. Like without that, some of those little things all of a sudden turn into negative experiences, and all those negative experiences just like affect your brain development.
Mate.
Absolutely mad.
But then I wonder if like, say that if I have a kid, if my kid will be going through some issues because of me, because I've been going through some issues. Like, is there a way where I could just like have a perfect life, and my kid will have the perfect life? But because of my previous life, my what am I trying to say? Previous
like your childhood.
My childhood, yeah. Do you think, I don't know how it works, genes and all that. Yeah. But do you think something will be there that might give it that little anxiety? Like it might be getting, he or she might be getting the same anxiety attacks that I get. Yeah. But they might have had a perfect childhood and everything. Do you think it would ever? I
think the biggest thing that would affect it would be your behaviour. So if there were still things that like you got anxious about, and then you then kind of not necessarily kind of, because obviously a lot of these things aren't things that you do consciously. Yeah. You wouldn't consciously kind of show your child how to be anxious and like
just like you said about someone dying. Like how would I have dealt with it? Like for me, I would have just been like, oh, everyone dies, like But if I had that support structure, I would have been more comfortable, and there would have been that weird sad feeling, like anxiety feeling, or even that really horrible upset sad feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of crazy, and you don't necessarily think of it, because I think that's the biggest thing, that it's just things that obviously that we just do, and if when it comes to like things like grieving, everyone's got their own thing that they do, but at some point like you were quite upset about like someone dying or a pet dying, and someone might not have been there to comfort you, and then all it takes is for you then to to show that to your child, like just say it's the same situation where your child's got a pet goldfish and it dies, and they're quite upset about that, and you go, oh no, it's fine, and you just kind of leave it at that, and then it's just kind of this cycle, isn't it? Like you don't think about kind of those things sometimes.
That could be like the goldfish could have been its best, my kid's best friend, and I'm just like, everyone dies, like it's fine.
Yeah, and you've just shut that down completely.
And he's dying inside, but he's like trying to accept it, like that's fine, it's fine. Yeah. But really, he's really upset. I wasn't there to support my baby.
Exactly.
Mate, that's nuts.
It's absolutely mad. Like crap. It was eye-opening. Like you know what?
It does make you think, like, back, like, makes you think about your own childhood and then, like,
Yeah.
what have I been through? That's like, could have been more, people could have been more supportive of, like,
Yeah.
whew.
But it's like having that support network is it's huge, isn't it?
Mm.
Like, and it's not even necessarily like mum and dad or whoever's kind of the parents. Like, it's having all those different people like around you, so that because like relationships break down for everyone, whether that's friends, whether that's like romantic partners, whether that's family members.
Yeah.
But if you've got enough of that, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Like me and my mum don't talk anymore. Like we do, obviously. Shout out Jenny. But then it's fine because I've got really supportive auntie that I can then go to, and I've got I've got my uncle and I've got my friends and stuff like that. Like, whereas if that's like your only thing, then and that breaks down, then
what do you
it's
do?
just
That's mental. Like, mate, that fucking blew my mind.
mate, we need to play this game. Like, it's sick. Like, it will make you think like so much. Yeah.
Oh, Thought Park was sick,
Thought
wasn't
Park
it?
was sick.
You lot were jokes. Like,
So
your voice, like when we was on the ride, like most of the time, like Jared was either behind me or like next to me, and all you hear is just like every time there's like a little like dip or anything, your voice goes with me like whoa.
I think you're listening to someone else.
Oh mate,
I don't think it's me.
You also had like you all were doing it together. Like, whoa! I mean, it was cracking me up. Every time I'm just sitting there like trying to like scream but like crying because I'm
And
laughing.
mate, and bloody choking on your mask as well.
Oh yeah,
like,
you have to wear your masks. I should have a picture on my phone. Yeah, you have to wear a mask on the rides, man. Like
which is just
that's
a bit
mad.
long.
Amount of times it kept like going up on my eyes or like below.
Yeah,
like,
my mum would like drop off my nose
yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
and go like in my mouth.
At one point, me and Lucy was just like, you know what? When we get on the ride, just put it down a bit, just so.
Bit cheeky.
Yeah,
What
because
did Boris say?
That doesn't make sense to get on a ride that going like over 100 miles per hour. How fast do they go? How
I
fast?
don't, stealth is like stupid fast,
Yeah,
isn't it?
stupid
It must be
fast.
like it's like 0 to 80, I think, in however many seconds.
Does it go 100? Yeah, can you check?
I reckon 80.
Really? Yeah. What? That's the max speed. That's
The
shit.
first bit is.
Nah, what's the max
however
speed?
fast.
No, just put max speed.
You can be sure.
Sorry, Jamie.
Jamie.
Young Jamie. Oh, if you don't,
JME.
no, if you don't know Joe Rogan, he's got a person there
Mm.
that does all the. He always brings shit up.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
whatever
yeah,
they're talking
yeah.
about, he'll bring it up. He's sick. I
Your
want a
si-
Jamie.
your side man.
I'm thinking to actually contact my old media teacher and just say, look, if you've got any students that would like to work on podcasting, let him be my producer, and I'll just get him to sit. I'll pay him like 10 or 20 quid like per session, and just every time any topic we talk, like I'll put a screen here.
Yeah.
Anything we talk about, bring it up.
What? So it's happening live?
Oh no, not live.
okay.
That's the next probably.
Oh,
thing
I was gonna say that would be mad.
80 miles an hour.
I was driving faster.
Knowledge.
I was driving faster going there.
Right, so you
I was going that
you
night.
suggesting we don't go Thought Park, we just sit
Go
in
in
the
my
car.
car. I had a great time. We listened to some bangers. Oh yeah, speaking of that, mate, NSG. Before I don't know if this will ever get big, and we're probably way far in the episode now, so people are probably stopped listening, or they're probably at work now and they're just not going to listen any further.
I'm just eating all
So
this.
this is fine. I feel like NSG will never hear this. But mate, your songs sound the same. Like, can you bring up a song? Mate,
Well, options was obviously the
yeah,
first one.
option was the thing that.
That's the only one I know, so that's what I was
No, alright, we'll play options now. Like, if you listen to it, like it's a banger, great tune. And NSG again. Before we go further, I love you guys. If this ever gets big, I love you guys. Great. But,
Can we join?
I
mean,
would love to
there's
join.
Bear of the Minute. How many is there?
Bear of a minute.
Like,
they'll
yeah,
notice.
I'd love it in it. We just sneak in. I'd love to be part of
Listen to
NSG.
this, like, that's all right, I could edit it out. Listen to this. Option.
Options.
There's an option. Like, even listen to the music in the background, like, you could just hear it. And they're like, oh, man, play another song. I guarantee you it'll sound like there's like a same rhythm that you could be like, option. Options. Option.
But do you know what? If it
Wait,
ain't
all their songs.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, don't fix it. And they're smashing it.
Well,
I'll play another tune just so we could just.
so we just
I need to make. We realised we played in our car. We
but our car.
I was so
we own
happy.
it together.
Option. The option. option. Mate, I'm telling you.
It's the option flow.
It's the option
That's
flow.
what it's called
That's
now.
what it is. Yeah,
It's the option flow. There we go. So
Yeah, maybe it's just a thing. Like,
yeah, maybe that is just their flow. And
like
they
you
just,
said,
yeah.
if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Amen.
That's where all the artists are going wrong. They keep trying to fix it.
Yeah.
It ain't broken.
It's
Keep
true.
doing the same shit until someone like me catches you, and then imagine this goes viral just because.
Innit?
There's 6 of them, I like.
6. I swear there always looks like
There's
the
bare.
They can have 8.
Mate,
can
they bring
have
on
8.
like chip and stuff sometimes in their videos, and they got to change their location as well, man. It's always next to that the block of flats.
They're just ends, innit? They're repping ends.
No, man, come around, like, come here.
What, Bromley?
Yeah. Go Norman Park.
Norman Park.
See Dan running in the background. Well, shout out Dan, by the way. He's gonna be. What is he doing? He's doing the marathon. He's. How much is he raising?
What, 1,500?
I feel like I paid him twice as well. But shout out Dan. Honestly, like he's done this by the time I release this. So there's no point plugging him. But very proud.
But yeah, fair play to
But if
him.
you haven't done it, then I'm not proud. I wonder if he's done. It's time to wrap this up, boys.
Mad.
We could just go on, couldn't we?
Innit?
Like,
We could just chat
yeah,
for ages.
That's why Joe Rogan does it for like 4 or 5 hours. Like he
Yeah.
goes in.
But like, do people listen for 4 or 5 hours? Because that's a long time.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because you two just right, remember when we went to Dam and you two just watching videos like you
Oh,
two just
yeah.
love YouTube.
It was back then as well.
Yeah.
we've done it
I
for-
used to bang it.
Yeah,
Just
now it's
podcasts.
only
Now,
podcasts,
Well,
yeah.
back then,
I'm still not into podcasts. Like, I'll watch
Mate,
your
you've
stuff
been
because I
featured.
know people that are in it, and when I'm in myself, like obviously, I like
You
to
just
listen
to
to myself.
yourself.
I haven't.
Yeah, like I watched the one of obviously of us two.
The only one I've listened, watched back to is the Hot Ones one.
Oh, was it?
I've
The hot,
never-
the hot ones was jokes.
Like,
When you
so
were
funny.
dying,
I
That
can't.
was-
Oh, good thing you're here. We'll do it.
what?
Have I got anything that you could eat and I just want you to taste it.
Oh yeah, go on. Or let me just stick. I just stick a little finger in.
Is this
The
the one?
bomb. The bomb.
Is that the one?
No, it was the one that they thought was the hottest, I think, but it wasn't. What rating was the bomb on your list?
That's why it's so fucking hot. I put it on all night. Sorry, the
How?
units.
Yeah. No, just in your list, how high up was it? Was it like the 3rd or something? 3rd or 4th hottest?
This was like 3rd. Have some,
Just slurp it.
mate. And right, I was just about to lick that bit off. Just put your finger in there. Hope you're COVID tested and.
It's hot.
Mate, your eyes are watering. Look at him, he's gonna cry. I'm gonna zoom right in.
It's hot.
Imagine that on a win.
Yeah, give me that.
He's crying. He's crying.
No, I'm not.
What do you mean you're not? You literally got teary.
I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm just happy to be with you.
Your
Yeah,
eyes
like-
are watering.
Yeah, my.
Yeah. That's the hottest. Not even the hottest one was the hotter than this.
That is hot. Like that's tingling. Like how the hell does Dan just like
I'm
sit there
telling
and
you.
deal with it?
Dan was he went in. He was just like, he's just eating it and he started laughing at me. I was like, mate, you're. And he's like, I don't know. The reason I invited him, the reason I got excited because I thought it was Dan, and he's the moaniest person we know, like in the group, not we
Yeah.
know. Actually, probably the one.
Oh, I've got hiccups now.
Telling you, man.
Fuck, it's fucked me.
You only had
I've got hiccups. Fuck.
I've got to put that bit up now to promote our hot ones. Even though Jared wasn't there. Bad, isn't it? Imagine that on a wing. you would not been able to do it. You would have done it. So now you know why I reacted like that.
Mate, no, do you know what? I was like fully with you. I was just like, yeah, it's obviously jokes, like seeing you die and everything. It was Dan, just no reaction to nothing.
Yeah, but I feel like, because of how Dan was reacting, I feel like it looked like I was just overdoing it.
Yeah.
When I actually wasn't. And you just had a finger and I just rubbed it in, more than Dan as well.
Yeah.
If you look at that video, I've done it way more than Dan. Bad. I did tell you it's not...
Oh.
You're probably...
That
You're
is
probably
so-
overthinking it. I think I put more than you on.
Good. Oh my god. Ugh.
No way.
Yeah, that's hot.
And I went,
The roof of my mouth's on fire.
he's
Burning.
dying.
Yeah, burning.
I don't know how people have that normal, man. But
Yeah,
anyway,
do people just enjoy that?
I think so. Dan clearly did.
Innit? We should give it to Dan.
To end this episode, it's not a normal episode if we don't get our Would You Rather. But this is our back to the basic. We know back to the basic podcast layout. I'm gonna have these special episodes like the one I did with Hot Ones, like Dan. The next one is with 6 of us, even Lucian now. He's
Like
gonna
NSG.
He's gonna be on cam. NSG.
Absolute gang.
Yeah, we're gonna have a drinking sesh. But we're all gonna have it's gonna be a little challenge. Is it a challenge? I don't know. I'm still trying to work out what we're gonna do. But there's gonna be 6 of us. So I'm looking forward to that episode. But yeah, so. Man, you're going to be filming it. You've been there. You're the face of Say How It Is.
About now. we did say that if Alvi dies, then I'll take over his podcast.
I did. And who was going to be co-host? Dwayne.
Your guy, yeah.
Yeah, mate.
I haven't met him yet, but shout out Dwayne.
Shout out Dwayne and his newborn kid, man. He's little cutie, bro. My little nephew. Again, like with my podcast, like this is it's all. Don't take anything to heart. Anything I don't know, if I said anything offensive, which I don't think I did, just don't think it's anything to heart. I'm just saying this because of this would you rather question. It's just banter, you know. Anyway.
Yes, Alvi. Feels like ages, man. What the hell is going on?
True, I've got to stop doing one.
But
I need to get back to doing one podcast a week now.
A week? That's work rate.
That's what I used to do.
Is it?
Yeah, before I started filming. Because when I just started filming, COVID happened, so I just I couldn't carry on the momentum, but it used to be always once a week.
Yeah, that's sick. Love that.
Would you rather for you? Would you rather be mentally unhealthy, so like you suffer from mental health issues and things like that, or physically unhealthy, where you're just chronically obese, you've got, I don't know, fucking shit-ass livers. I should say liver, because there's only one in it.
Livers.
Shit-ass kidneys. No, what would you rather be? Mentally unhealthy or physically unhealthy? Yeah, man!
That's a mad question.
I
think I'll be the physically one. Because imagine being happy in here.
Do you know what, Matt? I think I'd say mentally.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, if you're... Do you know what? Both of them obviously affect you in terms of...
one or the other. You got to think that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if it's physically, there's more chance of, like, illnesses, like further illnesses and then potentially death.
Yeah, but then you'll be sad. So if you're physically healthy, you know, you look great, you know, fucking ripped to shreds, like no illness or anything, but in your head you're just like having constant panic attacks and like.
I mean, I'd rather neither of them.
No, of course,
like,
but it's you have to pick one.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I don't think like that.
Man would have to. Yeah, I think mentally.
Really?
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
What did I say? Yeah, mine has to be physically.
You say physically. Why'd you say physically?
Because like, imagine just I don't know, even being fat and stuff. Obviously, it bothers some people. But imagine just eating what you want and just like, even yes, you're dying inside, but you're happy as fuck. Like you're so happy. Yes, you may have a short life, but just being like the thought of me never having panic attacks and just me not worrying about death and just happy. Imagine that, man. Imagine full happiness.
Yeah. Man said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, mate, honestly, like that, I would love that. Imagine just not being sad. You're constantly like, I mean, I guess you can be sad. I mean,
but not to levels where you're depressed or it's affecting you. Because like it's normal to have.
When Lucy was fat,
it was great.
Yeah, he was loving life. I want to be that.
Happy.
I want to be that. He had nothing, no issues. He was always running around getting drunk. Like he was happy as fuck.
He wasn't running. He was walking.
No, sometimes he would run. He would chase me. Sometimes.
Oh, that's cute. Playing kiss chase.
Oh no, me and him would chase some people. It was weird. I don't know. We got drunk one time, and then one time, that time when we was at uni, I was at. They make fun of me because
college.
Because I didn't go like uni. I didn't live away. But it makes sense. I mean, if one of my mates did that, I'd be like, you were still in primary school. Yeah, one time, me and Lucia got really drunk and like was in my. I put a picture up of me on top of my shitty punt. Actually, I won't even do that. That's fucking embarrassing. Why am I doing that to myself? But yeah, then this random guy started running down. So random. And Lucia starts chasing him. He ran past us. And Lucia was like, what? And he just ran after him. The guy must have been terrified, bless him. He didn't like, he stopped off like after a while, but like, yeah, he went in.
That sounds like in school, you know, when like beef kicked off and like you see like a couple people running, just like, oh, it must be good, so let's run as well.
Yeah.
Like you don't know where you're going.
Everyone
Like,
just running
yeah.
as well. Good times, man. Every special episodes, because now Dan's already been in a few special episodes, I'll just do with Dan as well.
Yeah.
So Dan will be involved. But mate, I think I should just get more friends on as well, instead of just like, and even guys that I just haven't spoken for a while, definitely get them on as well. And even famous people when this gets big. I don't know how it works with famous people. I don't know how to like. Do I just message? Do I have to pay them? And like, if I do have to pay them, how much?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It depends. Some of them might just be calm and just be like, nah, just do
I'll
it. Like,
do it for free.
'cause,
Like,
yeah.
you know, everything. I'll get nothing out of it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like Press. He did it, and he's pretty like he's big in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's decent. I don't know. I need to look into that, but not yet. I'm enjoying this. I like the whole friend thing. But
You
yeah,
like
looking
the
forward to the
children,
next
all that.
episode.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Bruv.
I really appreciate it. I know this is supposed to be a solo one, and it's like a last minute thing. We spoke about like Wednesday, and it's like
Yeah.
Friday
Just
now.
like, yeah.
But yeah, I'll
Didn't,
come.
didn't really plan it out. Just
No,
like,
I was
yeah,
just
let's
going to chat shit on the camera like I normally do with my solo ones.
And now
But
you're chatting shit with your boy.
now I'm chatting shit with my boy. Can't be any
There we
any
go.
better than that. Thank you so much. Get the mask. That's for you. I got loads left. Can't remember how many. I think I got like 50 left. I think that's how many I ordered actually. I've got like 45 left then.
Just joking.
But yeah, no one wants it for some reason. I thought that would sell out. I thought getting masks would be a thing.
No, it's
But
the tops.
it's the top.
Get
So
the
I've
top.
got two left.
Sick.
I've got two left. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe invest in the tops.
Yeah, do you like the tops? You just
Yeah, tops are sick.
Thanks, man.
Especially the arm logo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get better material in that. So even the next one, I'll probably just give it to you for free because there's no point buying. Fucking, you already bought two. I'll give you the next one for free.
My God.
But yeah, there's people that message me like, "Oh, I'm your mate." Like, support your boy. Like, what? You think I'm spending my money? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's a
Lucy
business,
designed
innit?
the logo,
Like-
and he's still paid. Not
Yeah,
as much
I
as you
hate,
did, but he's
but I hate that stuff when people are like,
They don't
because
support.
I know you, so yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, I'm
come
grafting.
on,
you
like
know
we're
what I
all
mean?
working people, like all
Yeah.
big people with jobs, like
Some people some people are annoyed at me because I won't mention names, and I don't think they listen this far, but they're like, "What are you being weird for?" I'm literally spent money to get all this.
this is your business.
Support
This is
your boy.
like, especially like if this was your only stream of income as
Oh,
well,
mate. And
and
they're
you're
like,
like,
"Give it for
and
free."
like, oh yeah, I want it for free. It's like, well, how am I meant to
Yeah.
feed myself and stuff? Like this is my job. Like,
I think it's the image I put up. I think it's like mate. This is another long ass conversation, but I feel like it's the image of me on like Instagram and stuff. People just think, oh, he's
yeah,
doing
like,
it
it's
right.
calm
He's just
and
doing this
stuff,
for
yeah.
fun. Like, mate, I'm doing everything just to like grow as a person and
Yeah.
just make a profit out of everything. I'm Asian, man. Everything is business to me.
Love that. Love
You think
that.
I've been in on for no reason?
Nah.
No, he's giving me
Money.
some income.
Money.
But no, honestly, guys, thank you so much. Lucy was always going to be here, but thank you for coming on.
Welcome, bro.
Again, I will sort out another topic. I feel like this was a good one.
Yeah.
Another major thing that's happening in the world. I was going to talk about Trump having COVID as well, but again, didn't fucking mention that.
Dickhead.
But good, deserve it. And
It's true.
surprised that it didn't get to him earlier. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on. We'll do another one. Let's end it. Lucy, end it.
Peace.